Are we in just another part of the cycle, or is there something that's a little different this time?
No, we're coming out of, and I believe we're coming out of what will be the longest correction that I've ever seen. I mean, I've lived through the
Yeah.
savings loan crisis in the early 90s, the recession of the early 2000s, the great financial crisis in '08, '09. This one was very different in two main ways. Each individual property sector was operating fairly autonomously from the others, where in the past corrections, everything was moving in the same direction, just to different magnitudes. And lender behavior has been very, very different this time around. And when I
Mm.
say this time around, I'm talking about the period from October of 2015 through today as one cycle. It may actually be two cycles because there was a 12-month break from the correction, which was the second half of 21 and the first half of 22 in New York City, anyway. Um,
Mm.
and then, we've entered another period where downward pressure has been exerted on value based upon the Fed increasing interest rates starting in March of 23. Really started to tangibly impact the market in August, September of 23.
Mm.
And so we've either entered a new cycle, a new downward cycle, or it's just a continuation of one that started in October of 15. But this period has been very long, very challenging, and based upon the Fed indicating that they may start cutting rates, could be that we're at or near the bottom of the cycle right now, and there's certainly more optimism in the marketplace. If you talk to market participants today, I think you hear a lot more optimism that things are not getting worse any longer. They're, if anything, stabilizing and maybe improving. So that's a very positive thing.
Yeah, that perception is such a big role in how people choose to invest and what happens in the market. So, as far as what you're seeing with, investors that you're working with, I imagine some of them are more conservative, maybe waiting for that optimism to be real. Is that what you're seeing, or are there still good deals to be had today?
No, I think, every deal is different. If you look at the market generally, I think we see that a lot of the capital that was on the sidelines being very patient, saying,
Hmm.
yeah, that sounds like a good deal, but it'll be cheaper 3 months from now. So I'm going to wait. I think we haven't heard that in a couple of weeks. Folks are thinking that, hey, now may be the time to get in.
Okay.
There's a lot of pent up demand to sell. And so those folks are going to have an opportunity to sell now. There will be a market clearing price for every deal. And I think that if we look at the sellers, there are some sellers that may be a little bit more resistant to selling today because they think things will improve and value may get better with interest rate cuts. I'm not so sure that that's going to happen if it's just a 25 or 50 basis point decrease.
Mm.
But if anything, the our market is so uh, correlated to perception and either optimism or pessimism. Markets, the way they function, it's always a battle between fear and greed.
Mm.
And fear has been winning for a long time. I'm not so sure greed is part of anyone's psychology today, but certainly fear is abating, and that's a good thing. And it's just a matter of time before we get back to the point where greed will be winning again, and the market will be robust. So I have no doubt that that will happen. It's just a question of when.